Y'all have heard the scores, but I need to contextualize this for you all.
47-9?
You heard what he said. You heard what he said. I'm just making sure.
I need to contextualize this, and this is, I just found this out, so I'm sharing this with y'all. Turn your volumes up. The last time the Cowboys lost by 38-plus points was Week 9, 2010 versus the Packers.
Coach Mike was on the field.
He was, for a different team.
Yeah.
James Jones, too, was on the field.
Yes, I was.
8 receptions, 123 yards, and a tink-tink.
Say that again?
8 receptions, 123 yards, and a tink-tink from my dog, James Jones.
You got his after the catch looks real bad.
Look,
Violent, boy. Violent.
that is the last.
You know what I'm saying? I was getting active. I was getting active.
JD, what you think he was getting out that crazy work or not?
Man.
Nah, he balling. He didn't make crazy work, though. Yeah, he not making the cut.
I ain't gonna lie. I done had that shady in me with the ball. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, so that's the last time, just to put in context how bad this was.
And Coach got fired after that.
Thanks to you.
Next day, Wade Phillips got fired.
Thanks to you.
Their last in-season firing of a head coach was Wade
Thanks to
Phillips.
Jonesy.
After that game.
Hold on now,
That's
America. We get
crazy.
places.
They say history repeats itself.
That's what they say. That's what they say. We will get there in a moment. But Chase, kick this off for the whole world, man. Was it a terrible game for the Cowboys, just a one-off, a bad game, or a terrible sign for the season?
Both. Terrible game and terrible sign. I mean, like, keep it a buck. They did not look good. Like, when will we realize that the Cowboys are not a good team? They're decimated by injuries. They can't stop the run. They can't run the football.
Yeah.
They can't do anything on defense. They can't get turnovers. All the pressure's on Dak Prescott as a quarterback. And it's your worst home loss in 36 years on your owner's birthday? He's turning 82, and that's the performance you give out there and go? Look, dating back to the playoffs last year, you're supposed to have a home field advantage. And Dallas was really good at home until the last 4 games. Dating back to the playoffs of last year in Green Bay, they've allowed 167 points over the last 4 home games. 167 points. And we got my guy over here on Friday and Thursday that said, hey, if the Cowboys beat the Lions, you need to give Mike McCarthy a new contract. He's lucky to make it through this week. He's lucky to make it through this week. Like, it's just, they're just, and I have to come to the realization, because I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
They're just not a good team in any aspect.
God, dog, that was strong. That was strong. It's a terrible sign for the Dallas Cowboys because they're getting out-coached. And they don't have the players. But we knew they didn't have the players, y'all, so it's not a terrible sign because they didn't have the players. We knew the Cowboys didn't have a good enough run game. We knew they didn't have a good enough rush defense. And without Micah Parsons, they don't have the pass rushers. But now they're getting out-coached. Shifts, motions, attacking the scheme, attacking the personnel, attacking with tempo. The Lions out-coached the Cowboys in every facet of the game. And the Cowboys' best coach is supposed to be the head coach, Mike McCarthy. But Mike McCarthy's not even the best offensive coach on the field. Thinking about it, how many greater offensive coaches can you name in football right now than Mike McCarthy? As a result, it's a terrible sign because the sign can be repeated over and over and over and over as you continue to see better coaches and coaches and coaches and coaches than Mike McCarthy. Ben Johnson had a field day with the Cowboys defense, but it wasn't just because he had better players. It's because Ben Johnson knows how to use formations, which Mike McCarthy isn't doing as well. He knows how to use shifts, which Mike McCarthy isn't doing as well. He knows how to use motion, which Mike McCarthy isn't doing as well. He knows how to use tempo, which Mike McCarthy isn't doing as well. He knows how to attack the players, which Mike McCarthy isn't doing as well. And he knows how to attack the scheme, which Mike McCarthy isn't doing as well. So it is a terrible sign because as long as there are an exponential amount of coaches that can outcoach Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys roster is atrocious, of course this is going to happen again and again and again and again and again until the season ends, James Jones.
Yeah, real quick, because, you know.
He was not like what you were saying about
Coach Mike is my dog. He did not do a good job.
At all.
But can we say Zimmer's name at least? Because he does run the defense. I'm just saying. I know he did, but Mike ain't give up 480-plus yards on the defense.
He did, that's true.
Now, if we want to say the offense is terrible, that's all good. But can we say Zimmer?
The defense is atrocious. Atrocious. Mike Zimmer.
I'm just saying. Thank you. Okay, they got out-coached. Mike McCarthy. Mike Zimmer. They got out-coached. That we agree on that. But this is a terrible sign for the Dallas Cowboys. They need to be on the phone right now, and I know that they don't make trades. Devontae Adams, where you at? They don't have the playmakers. As much as you want to do all these motions and bunch formations and all that stuff is cute, but you know what the Lions do have? They have Jameson. They have Amon St. Brown. They have a two-headed monster at the running back spot. They have a really good tight end. They have weapons all over the football field for the Detroit Lions. So, yes, he does do motions. He does get it, but they have the players. They have one player on the offensive side of the ball that you are worried about. And if you have one player on the offensive side of the ball that you are worried about going against 11 men, it don't matter what formation you are in. So Coach Mike is already at a disadvantage. The quarterback didn't play well. We'll put that on the quarterback and Coach Mike. 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. He didn't play well. We said up here, if you're going to win this game, you got to be the best player on the field. He was the worst.
Yeah.
And that's just being he was the worst. You can't go down in the red zone not scoring all that with 2 of your star players being hurt thinking you're going to stop the Detroit Lions. You're not. I said on this show, if Mike wins this game, they should be walking down the hallway to give him a contract because I knew they was at a disadvantage. I knew this was going to be a tough football game with what he had. And they got embarrassed. This is a bad, bad sign. This is a sign of you might win 8 games.
Right.
You might.
Hold on. You was going somewhere.
Where was I going?
Don't leave where you was going.
I set you up. I set you up.
He should walk, right?
Yeah.
Or wobble.
Jerry
Wherever
Jones
he
should walk,
He wobbles after the games. Anyway, he wobbles down to office to get him a contract.
Oh, now you
What
say
about now, though? James Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely wobbling down the hallway. You see, if Mike's door open, you go.
Now, I want to but I'm not going to go.
One more like
I'm not
that,
going to let Acho blame everything
Thank
on Mike
you.
McCarthy. That's not going to happen.
Come on,
right?
now. Thank you, sir.
Because he's saying about the players and all that, because I do remember when the superstars on defense was playing, and they still was getting smoked. They still couldn't stop the
that
run.
is true.
This is the second time this season, though, where they've allowed 44 points or more in the real season.
That's not good.
And it's at home. One thing about the Cowboys used to always say, one thing about them, they're going to win at home. They're a hard team to beat at home. Well, things have changed. They used to. My biggest fear in life is being they used to. They used to be that. They're not that no more. This has to be a terrible sign, yo. Before the season started, we talked up here, right? And I said, listen, I don't think the Cowboys will make the playoffs.
You did say that?
I'm standing by that. When I watch Cowboys, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing on offense. I don't see nothing on defense. We talked about Dak Prescott being the best player on the field. I don't even see him being close to that. So what are they going to do? Yeah. It's too late to go out there get players. If Devontae Adams comes there, he's a great player. I don't know what else he can do.
You need another option.
I'm just saying, yo. And then on defense, the hardest part is if I'm an offensive player, especially a quarterback, right? I got to put points up. That's my game. That's my thing. I got to put points up. My defense can't stop nobody, so I'm not getting no field position. They're going to have the ball, time of possession more than anybody that we're playing against. What can we do?
Yeah.
They're a bad team. And the thing about the Cowboys, I'm not even going to get to this year, but when they had the 9 All-Pros, they had this, they had that, they still couldn't win.
Yeah.
Now you lose that, you still can't win. I think it's just more of a Cowboy thing. Maybe because I'm an Eagle, I don't know. But it's a Cowboy thing, baby.
The Detroit Lions had several more turnovers. That's stuff you can start to coach and practice. I need to see the Cowboys do more of that, especially given their lack of talent right now.
So what you saying, big dog? Like, does he need to be ousted like Wade Phillips? What you saying? I mean, what you? He's saying it. He's getting coached. Say what you mean.
To lose on Jerry Jones' birthday in the worst way in the last 14 years,
That was crazy.
will do something. Remember, Robert Saleh got fired by the Jets in large part because he had underdelivered for several years. But Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets in London, with all of his billionaire buddies, got embarrassed by the Vikings in London. Owners are humans, too. Jerry losing by 82. Jerry on his 82nd birthday losing Chase. I don't believe he'll fire Mike McCarthy. I don't know that he should, but there's a problem.
But like, I actually am a big Coach Mike fan. But they did not give him a contract going into this year. So he is a lame duck coach, right, Acho? He's a lame duck coach.
He's a prove-it coach.
But
Yeah,
he ain't been proving it. So why are you waiting? Why not rip the Band-Aid off right now? I like him, but they didn't give him a contract going into this year. And if he keeps performing like this and he's not making the playoffs, he won't be back regardless.
So really quick, though, because...
Unless they turn it around somehow, some way.
I don't think he's a bad coach like that.
I don't think so either.
Like
But they didn't give him a contract.
when I watched the game, though, from their losses at home, right? The Lions, it was the Ravens, it was the Saints.
Yeah.
I watched them get bullied, though.
Yeah.
Right? So as much as we want to talk about the coach, it's like, I'm a player. I'm an NFL player. And I line up across from you. This is the only sport other than like boxing and MMA and all that where I'm paid to dominate you and be physical, more physical than you. And when I watch it, that's what the Saints did. That's what the Ravens did. They were just more physical. So then if I'm watching my defense get drove up and down the field, running the ball, do whatever they want to on offense, I mean, it's pressure. We got to score.
Yeah.
And then when you look at it, they don't have the talent they used to have. And then the other thing is, Dak he's a good quarterback, but sometimes he goes into the shell like he did last game where he just didn't look that good. And then we can't run the ball. So how can we match your intensity if we can't run the ball like you run the ball?
Next.
How can we match your intensity when our pass game is not working? So as much as you want to blame Mike McCarthy, I look at the players.
Yeah.
Where the dog at? Because they ran the ball. They threw the ball. They did trick plays. Anything they wanted, they were having fun.
Every game.
They were joking.
Every game.
I can't blame all that on Mike McCarthy.
You can't.
Not all of it.
Like I say, Coach Mike don't coach the defense, right?
He gets some pizza, though.
You could, yeah, no doubt. But you can blame
Soda.
Coach Mike for the offense.
Soda.
But you can't. Soda.
Pizza, soda. He
Get pizza
fries.
soda. No fries. The fries go to Zimmer. I mean, come on now.
What about the cake?
Like the
Jerry
defense
Jones's cake?
all year long, except against Deshaun Watson, has been really, really bad.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Giving up 400 yards plus offense in multiple games. Like the defense has been really, really bad. Has the offense been helping them out? No. And that's why Coach Mike gets a slice of that pie. But you always say, when we talk about Brock Purdy, what other quarterback, even if it's Patty Mahomes, is winning as much as Brock Purdy? And it's hard to say a quarterback is because Brock Purdy is winning a lot. What other coach is just walking in here right now winning with this roster? They're not a good football team. They don't have a good roster. You don't have a number 2 playmaker. You do not have a run game. You're missing 2 of your best players on defense. Even when Nate was out there, people got the game plan, run straight at Micah because Micah can't really stop the run. He's really good at the pass. They know the formula. They are not a good team. They do not have the playmakers on the Dallas Cowboys no more. Those are has-been.
Used to.
All-pros, used to all-pros. This year, they're not playing at an all-pro level. So as much as you want to get on the coaches, they are at a disadvantage with roster. Look at the Detroit Lions roster. It ain't close. It ain't close on both sides of the ball. The Dallas Cowboys don't have the roster, in my humble opinion, to compete to get into the playoffs this year. And you can blame it on the coaches, but they had a disadvantage roster-wise.
I'm not blaming it all on the coaches, but let's be real. You can't, in professional sports, you cannot fire the owner. Mm-hmm. Last time I checked, the owner was the GM.
Yep.
Last time I checked, the GM is the one getting the players, right?
Okay.
You can't fire the players. You can't redo Dak's $60 million deal. You can't redo CD's $60 million deal. What changes then? Coaches. That's the only thing you can change, right, wrong, and different. Right, wrong, and you can't fire the players. You're not going to. They're all pros. 8 all pros, 9 all pros. And you can't fire the owner. Something has to change.
There's so many other bad coaches that I could really.
I get it. I know,
Shady. And then another thing's like, okay, so this year is obviously a bad one. But he had other years where he really did well.
Yes, he did.
Right? And I think winning 12 games is not easy to do.
Yep.
It just is hard because when you're losing and it look bad, like the coach gets all the blame for it. And I just hate
But
that.
not only that, it can't look like that. Yeah. Like, as I was watching the game, y'all know I'm a fan of Coach Mike. This is what gets you fired.
Yeah.
It can't look like that. At least you got to lose close games.
That's well said. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.